mentee. So folks, thanks so much for coming along to our session this afternoon, and the focus of which is just to provide you with a bit more information on our CO3 Mentoring Leadership Programme. I'm going to share my slides with you, hopefully. I'm hoping that you're able to see those okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So just in terms of housekeeping, with introductions, we said we're going to do in the chat function, but we were able to do a round robin very quickly there. When you're not speaking, if you could just place yourself on mute. So whenever the dog starts barking or the child starts crying in the background, it won't serve as too much of an interruption. We are, as I've said, recording the session today, and that's mainly to accommodate quite a few folk that weren't able to make the session today, but are really interested in joining the programme. And then as we're walking through the session today, if you do have any questions or any comments that you want to share, please feel free to use the chat function, and then of course there'll be an opportunity for us all to have a more in-depth conversation as we go through. I am conscious that some folk on our call today are not that familiar with who CO3 is, or they're very new to CO3. So I am going to spend a few moments just talking about who CO3 is, what our story is, and a quick overview of the services that we provide. So we were set up in 1985. We are a membership-based charity and represents the interests of over 700 members now. We have 4 categories of membership: our full members, which are our chief executives; our associate members, who are senior managers and senior directors that work within the wider third sector; our corporate members, private sector leaders who see the value of being connected to the CO3 network; and also trustees, so supporting trustees on a range of boards. And for us, those categories are all really important. So the full, associate, and trustee, it's recognizing that leadership is shared across an organization. So for us, it's about recognizing and offering a range of support services to them. Our mission is to inspire, develop, and connect third sector leaders. And we provide a wide range of services to our members. Too many to talk through in any detail today, but broadly speaking, we've categorized our membership services rather, into 4 broad areas. So the support services that we offer, the development services that we offer, providing a strategic voice for our members, and then the networking opportunities. So for us, the support services come mainly through a range of different forums that we have set up. So we have the Health and Social Care Special Interest Group, which kind of does exactly what it says in the tin. Most of them do. The New to Post Chief Executive Forum, and that's for new to post chief executives who find themselves in this space and really benefit from the shared experiences of others who are on a similar leadership journey to them. We have a HR forum and a financial management forum. We recently established a New to Post Trustee Forum, and again, the forum themes come from our members. So it's members coming to us saying, I'd really benefit from getting new to post trustees with some peer network and support. Would you think of setting up this network? And we did, and we have. So the New to Post Trustee Forum is the most new service that we've offered, and we had a session on that last week, and the feedback on it has been hugely beneficial. We also have a Chairs Forum and a Treasurers Forum as well. And for us, a big part of our offer is creating the convening space for our members to make new connections for peer support, for business opportunities, and in some cases friendships. And for anybody who's in a leadership role, I think the importance of a peer network is really important. So for us, it's about giving you access to a wider set of peers that you normally wouldn't come into contact with. The development side, we offer a range of leadership courses. We've Leading Edge, an ILM level 5 accredited program that we're out recruiting for now. We have a range of cross-sector leadership exchanges that we've been doing for the past 3 years, and the feedback on those programs has been really powerful. We've our Excelling in Leadership program for chief executives, and an interim executive leadership course, and lots of other training programs that we run. And again, lots of those training programs are from members coming and telling us that they would really benefit from training in a particular area to enhance and build their expertise and to support them on their leadership journey. We provide a voice for our members through a range of different opportunities. So the high profile engagements that we do. So we've got, we used to do the Perm Secretary and political dinners. Obviously, COVID has put a stop to that. We've now pivoted most of our roundtables with political and public sector leaders online. So next week, for example, we're doing a roundtable with Sue Gray, who's the Permanent Secretary for the Department of Finance. And last year as well, we played quite an active role in terms of putting out a strong voice on the impact that COVID was having, particularly on the charity sector here, and lobbying and encouraging for more financial support to come sooner rather than later. And for us, the networking side, we offer a range of different networking events, large and small, the large being our flagship conference that we run on a yearly basis under our awards dinner, and to the smaller networking events that maybe have only a handful of people. All have their place and all have their own opportunities. And for us, it's about providing that variety of opportunities for members to interact with members, which is really important. I also want to flag as well, just to give you some background into how we raise our income. We operate as a social enterprise. We don't often refer to ourselves as a social enterprise, but we get a very small amount of money from government. The rest we raise through our membership, through our training, and through our executive recruitment service, which we've been providing for over 7 years. And we decided that the service demanded its own business in its own right. So we set up Engage Executive Talent 2 years ago, and that offers recruitment at board level, supporting chair and trustee recruitment, at permanent recruitment for both chief executives and senior managers, and also interim executive recruitment as well. So we've built up a panel of interims that can step into organisations to support them whenever they get temporary gaps in leadership. So for us, it's just about just putting that on your radar as well. So if you're thinking about a new leadership role, you can register to see the different positions that we're supporting. And of course, if you're thinking about executive recruitment, please know that our virtual doors are always open if anybody wants to have a chat about any particular recruitment needs that you may have. So that's the plug over for Engage. And back to the main focus of our conversation today, which is on our mentoring program. And I thought it'd be beneficial just to start by providing an outline of what mentoring is. And there are a range of different definitions that are out there. For me, this is a really good definition. The purpose of mentoring is to support and encourage people to manage their own learning in order that they maximize their potential, develop their skills, improve their performance, and become the best person that they want to be. For us, we've been running the mentoring program now. I think this is our 14th year of running the mentoring program, and we're really proud of the fact that we built up a bank of mentors from across private, public, and third sector, and the feedback that we've received on our mentoring program has always been really powerful. For those of you who know me, know that I enjoy my quotes, and there's a quote that if you can't see where you're going, ask someone who's been there before. And for me, that is an essence of what our mentoring is about. It's about using the experience and expertise of others to help you on your leadership journey. Um, we also get asked quite a bit about what the difference is between coaching and mentoring. So I thought it'd be useful just to quickly run through the difference between coaching, mentoring, and counselling. So counselling is unlocking a person's potential to maximise their performance. And I suppose what that really means is coaching, with a pure coaching model, they fundamentally believe that the individual has the capability of working out the solution to the issue, and the coach's role is that through questioning that they enable the individual to find that solution themselves. So the coaching model, through the coaching model, the coach shouldn't proactively offer guidance or give examples from their experience. A mentor provides more flexibility. It's someone who will encourage and support you to make the most of yourself and talk you through current challenges and or issues that you may be facing. And for us, as I've said, we're really fortunate. We've built up a range of mentors that come from senior leadership positions in the public sector, private sector, and third sector. And for us, a mentor is essentially a critical friend and helping the mentee to make informed decisions. And then, of course, counselling is the provision of professional assistance and guidance to resolving personal or psychological problems. And of course, that's a completely different service and something that CO3 does provide. And if we feel that some of our members would benefit from professional coaching, then we have outsourced that. It's completely confidential, and that is a service that is available as and when it is needed. I could speak all day about the virtues of mentoring. However, I think what is always the case with any of our leadership programs, to hear the insights of others who have been involved, I think is more powerful than anything. So I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, stop sharing my video. Why do I stop? As you can see, oh goodness, I can't work out how to stop sharing my screen. But what I'm going to do whilst I'm trying to do that is invite John Smith, who is one of our esteemed mentors, to offer his insights and experiences of being part of the programme. You're very welcome, John. Thank you for coming along today.
Thank you, Norah. My name is John Smith. My father decided to give me a simple name to allow people to remember it. It's been both beneficial and problematic. But what I'd like to do is go through my background and my experiences with the mentoring program. First, I would like to acknowledge Norah and her team for being able to maintain the mentoring program during this challenging time. So my background, I started life as an accountant in the automotive sector. I then moved into software in the early 80s and have been involved in setting up a number of software companies throughout my career, one of which was in the United States, where I lived for 8 years. I have extensive senior management and board level experience in both private and public listed companies. And I've been very fortunate to spend quite a bit of my career working in the United States, Australia, mainland Europe, Africa, and the Far East. So I feel I've quite a diverse background. Currently semi-retired, and at a point where I believe it's appropriate for me to invest and helping the next generation. My involvement with charities, I've been involved with Ards Business Centre and SOS Bus as a trustee and as interim CEO of Ards Business Centre for about a year. And I believe I've gained an understanding in the subtle differences between business and charity, because As I initially looked into the charity sector, I often thought, why can you not do that? Or why is that taking longer? So over my, I think, 7 years involvement, I've learned to understand those differences. In terms of the mentoring program, from my viewpoint as a mentor, I feel it's important to help mentees develop more effectively, to help build confidence and support them, to be able to listen and ask them questions that challenge, and to guide them through problem solving. I think it's important not to give the answer, but help people to find the answer appropriate to them. What I've done in preparation for this, I asked a couple of my mentees to give me 3 benefits that they feel of the program. The first 3 are from Gareth Harper, who's CEO of Peace Players. And Gareth goes, an offline sounding board to bounce ideas off and to chat through challenges, a safe space to discuss issues and strategies to help address them. And I think confidentiality is extremely important in the relationship to improve confidence and increase self-awareness of strengths and things to work on. The second 3 are from Lynn Carville, CEO of Women's Tech, committing to taking time out of the day-to-day minutiae of work to reflect on issues that are arising. Having someone with experience looking in from the outside, bringing their experience, fresh perspective to issues and problems. And the mentor is there for you and not the organization. And this is refreshing. And during my time with Gareth, I was asked to join the Peace Players board, but I felt that would compromise my relationship with Gareth, because that relationship between the CEO and the board is probably one of their most challenging. So I've thoroughly enjoyed my involvement in the program, being able to engage with talented and enthusiastic individuals and to help them develop has been very positive for me.
John, that's great. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I know personally speaking to the mentees that you had referenced that although your official mentoring relationship has ended, very often you know, they have the ability to pick up the phone and connect with you on a regular basis. So thank you for being so generous with your time and sharing your expertise. I'm delighted to have Brendan and Janet, who I strong-armed last week into offering their insights as well. Brendan, I'm going to turn to you first, if you don't mind, just in terms of sharing your insights into being involved in the programme as well. Be grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Norah. And again, I suppose I'll say a thank you to the team up there at CO3 as well. A little bit about myself. I'm called the Raptora for Cultus, which is generally an organizer. I'm the director, or whatever title you want to put on it, for Ulster for Cultus. We're a cultural organisation, traditional music. We run the Flas. That's our calling card. Everyone seems to know the All Ireland Fla. So yeah, I suppose, where was I coming from? We're based in Omagh, and it's that thing. I suppose the big thing the benefit I would say of CO3 is that, you know, for me personally, it was to build that network and get to know people out, you know, working at a similar level across the province, where everything seems to be Belfast based, for want of a better word. But I came into the mentoring program. We had grown the staff team, I suppose, quite quickly. We always had a very large volunteer base, and the staff team had grown over a couple of years, and I had moved very much from an operational sort of situation into an area where I was now starting to manage the vision, the strategy, and everything for it. And it was that thing of to get my own skills and get my own confidence. I was very lucky in the mentor I got. He had vast experience working at several different levels, and I suppose it was that thing of the sounding board. And it's funny there, when I heard John saying that, it very much was to have that sounding board, that safe space where you could speak to someone. And working at sort of chief executive level, there's not very often you can sit down with someone saying outside your own house and say, I just don't know the answer here. What is it? Can you help? And again, it was very much the sounding board. The relationship I had with the mentor very much was the sounding board, where he asked the questions almost in a coaching role as well as mentor, and allowed me to dig that little bit deeper into myself as to where the answer was. And more often than not, we got there. But again, I also wanted to get around that sort of lobbying side of things, getting people to buy in, leading the team and creating a culture. And he was able to help with so much of that there. And I suppose we had a bit of a mini crisis towards the tail end of our mentoring relationship. And it was so good to have someone with experience and with a big team that was there. And he actually just helped me go through that storm that was there. And it was brilliant. I have to say, I really enjoyed the experience. And again, the same, COVID hit towards not very long after the end of the mentoring relationship or the mentoring program. And I think everybody has just been spinning plates since then. So I haven't been able to sort of connect back in with them, but I know the door's open and I know it's there. I have to say, building that confidence in yourself, building that sort of your own skill set, and in areas that you just, and maybe it is whether you have the skills or whether you just need the confidence in them. I have to say, I thought it was a very worthwhile program. A huge thank you to Norah and the team for keeping it going.
Oh, my pleasure, Brendan. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that sounding board does it keeps coming up again and again. And you know, anybody who has been or is in a leadership position, you know, it can be a lonely space. So having the support of a mentor has proven to be hugely beneficial. So we'll pass over to Janet and potentially get an insight from yourself, and your son might pop his head in and give us a wee wave as well there.
Don't even go there. Honestly, I'm having one hell of a day. Every time I go onto a Zoom, he appears. He didn't get enough sleep last night, and I'm suffering as a result of it. So apologies in advance. Yeah, I mean, I suppose went into the mentoring relationship with great hope. I suppose I'm CEO of CAN, which is Compass Advocacy Network. We're based in the Causeway Coast and Glens area in Mid and East Antrim. So we're kind of a rural organisation, but we'd have quite a presence in the strategic and level discussions around learning disability, autism and mental health. And we've grown significantly since I became involved in the organisation 16 years ago. So I always kind of, and Norah will remember this, I always kind of saw myself as the accidental CEO, in that I'd kind of gone from one job in the organisation to another, and kind of just moved into the CEO role, although I, to be honest, always was there. We went through quite a significant change process about 5 years ago, which was not dictated by my board, but was done in partnership with the board, and had a total restructure, which was, as anybody knows, change is always difficult, and it's rocky, and you lose some people along the way. So it had been quite a trying period. But interestingly, I didn't have a mentor until I came out the other side. And I, like you, took part in one of these discussions and thought, do you know what, I'll maybe give it a go, because if nothing else, it'll boost my own confidence. And I think a lot of people think when they hear me speak that I have a lot of confidence and have quite a presence in a room, but generally that's because I'm passionate about the subject and not necessarily have the confidence in my own ability. So I then got into a relationship, myself and Siobhan Kearney were matched in a mentor-mentee relationship. And at the time, Siobhan had just recently retired as the chief executive of, or not retired, but stepped down as chief executive of a mental health charity. She's basically gone in a new career direction as a consultant and doing other parts of her role. So, and I had come across Siobhan, I suppose, through the Women's Network in the past, and thought, oh, me and her are definitely not going to hit it off at all. We're very different characters. And actually, the relationship has been so powerful and has changed things so much for me, that we're continuing it to today. I don't know if, Norah, you maybe have the stats as to when we came together, but it's a number of years ago. I can't even remember how long ago it was. It was 2 or 3 years ago. And what Siobhan brought to me, I suppose, was that listening ear. But she also gave me confidence in my own abilities to make the difficult decisions that I had to make. And also, and at the time as well, I was going through a significant recruitment drive with our board, and was able to support and enable me to kind of take very practical steps to making sure that I wasn't a victim of my newly formed board as well, so that relationship was appropriate. You know, she had gone through a lot of similar situations that I had, and just to have somebody in a position of trust that you can have that conversation with when you're a chief executive is so powerful. And somebody that you can pick up the phone to, that you can send an email to say, what do you think about this? And she didn't give me answers. She helped me to find the answers within myself, because I knew ultimately what I should be doing. But she helped to guide me through it. And what I felt, I mean, I was looking quotes as well. Norah knows I like my quotes as well. But for me, mentoring was about learning from someone that wanted me to grow, and wanted me to have the confidence to step out of my comfort zone as well. And as a leader to say, you know, I have something to contribute to the leadership discussion, because it would have been quite happy. I would have been quite happy hiding up in Cosmicos and Glens and just not saying very much to my fellow leaders. But actually, Siobhan made me step out of that comfort zone. She made me apply for a couple of awards as well, which I had never done before. But more than anything, what that relationship did was it gave me space to think, and it challenged me. So she didn't always agree with my thought process. So she would challenge me to go away and have another look at it and come at it from a different perspective. So, like I said, I am still in that relationship with Siobhan. She continued the mentoring after the programme finished. And actually, when Norah sent me the email about coming on today, I had just literally got off the phone to Siobhan. So it's quite ironic. But yeah, I would fully endorse anyone, or fully, you know, say go for it if you're thinking about doing it either as a mentor or as a mentee. It's just a boost. It's something that you'll never get from your senior management team or from your colleagues. It's a relationship that's beyond value.
Janet, that's great. Thank you so much. I love the learning from someone who wants me to grow. That's going to be my quote of the day. I might put that on Twitter later. I'm going to steal it from you. I am going to try to share my screen again here as well, because I think it is important to highlight what mentoring isn't, and hopefully you can all see my screen again. I think it is important to recognize that this isn't a tool for dealing with underperforming individuals. And unfortunately, I have been approached by some members in the past say they've had a really difficult staff member, and they think that they could be performance management through mentoring support. This is not what mentoring is about. This is not what CO3 mentoring is about. This is about supporting and developing your leadership. It's not there to act as your supervisor. It's not about taking on the problems or the work of the mentee, which has been tried in the past. I think it's really important to emphasize as well is this isn't providing professional advice. You know, we are so fortunate in that we have such a high caliber pool of mentors here offering the benefit of their years of experience, of senior leadership experience, offering their insights, offering their guidance, offering their wisdom. It is not professional advice. It's not intended to deal with personal issues either. Now, ultimately, you know, you're looking at a relationship between the mentor and the mentee, and that normally develops into quite a tight knit, I can nearly speak, tight knit team. So of course there's going to be elements of your personal life that you will share with that individual, but if you're in a place whereby you're having personal difficulties which are becoming all consuming, and this has happened in the past, then it's best maybe to step back from the mentoring program, because our mentors don't have the skills to provide marriage counselling support or whatever it may be. It's not psychotherapy, and your mentor is not your new best friend, but of course friendships do ultimately come from that mentoring relationship, but those friendships are based on professional boundaries and respect, so it is important to remember that. And it's not a space for allowing people to moan, except maybe sometimes, but we all need a space to vent, and that's okay. But if all of your conversations with your mentors are focused on how you're not able to change something, or if it is on a constant basis whereby you don't feel that it's no longer productive, then you're not going to get the benefit from the mentoring relationship. I also thought it'd be interesting to look at what makes a good mentor, and we've heard some of these picked up already from what Janet and Brendan have shared with us. For us, our mentors actively listen and reflect back to the mentee, and that active listening is a real skill. They impart their experience and expertise, and very often we're so fortunate. We've got such a high caliber pool of mentors, and they are role modeling skills and experiences that people then ultimately respect. They provide guidance when it's needed, and they're accessible and respond to needs as well. So it's really important from a mentee perspective to recognize that your mentor is there for you and they are accessible. Now, they're not on call 24/7, but it is important to recognize that they have committed their time to this program. So don't feel that that somehow they're too busy and can't give you the commitment that you need. They're fully committed to this program. They also encourage, and very often our mentors are fixers. They want to identify and solve problems. They want to find solutions that will support you on your leadership role. And for us as well, one of the benefits, the many benefits that mentees come back to us with, is the contacts and the networks that the mentor has access to. Very often is able to introduce the mentees to other folk that can help them on their journey. And a few of you, I think Brendan and Janet, had talked about that sounding board, and that's really important. But it's a non-judgmental sounding board, and it's a safe space, and that's so important. And ultimately, I think with what makes a good mentor is that critical friend role. And sometimes, and we've all needed a push in the back, sometimes gentle, sometimes a bit more forceful. So that critical friend role that a mentor plays is really important. And I can't look at what makes a good mentor without looking at what makes a good mentee. And for us, ultimately, the mentoring relationship has to be driven by the mentee. Our mentees need to be fully committed to this program. We need 100% commitment to it. It is such a great resource, but please don't ever take that for granted. It's also important that our mentees are open-minded, that they're prepared to step outside of their comfort zone and recognize that critical friend role that the mentor will offer from time to time. That positive challenge is a really important part to help you grow and help you develop, and to listen and act. And again, I suppose it comes back to the previous slide about meeting your mentor and lamenting about your problems and your woes, ultimately the mentor is there to support and help you develop. So you need to listen, and ultimately then it's about, well, what additional things do I need to put in place? What can I do that will help to resolve the issue that I have with my board, or the issue that I'm having with a staff member, or whatever it may be. And there's that element of trusting as well. And we fully appreciate that trust takes time, though incredibly, the safe space and the experience that our mentors bring create a very trusting environment very early on as well. And that ability to be self-motivated. And again, it comes back to the commitment that's involved in the program. And, and I don't think any of our mentees have been, but I think it's important as well that our mentors will guide you and provide you with the benefit of their experience and advice. But it's okay to challenge back. And if they do offer a particular solution and you don't agree with it, then that's a healthy and productive conversation to have. But it's being respectful, and it's being respectful of the time that the mentors are giving you, which is incredible, and also being respectful of the experience and expertise that this individual has, and the opportunity to download their brain and benefit from it. And as well, the ability to be curious and to ask questions, ask good questions, and be clear as well on what your needs are. What is motivating you to join the mentoring program? Now, very often what has happened is we have some of our mentors that our mentees rather, that join for a specific purpose, but then on their leadership journey with their mentor, there's a slight diversion. So there may be a range of different issues or challenges or areas for development that you look at as part of your year-long relationship with your mentor. But at the outset, it is important to have a clear understanding at this stage of what it is. Why is it that you as a mentee want to join the program, and why now? In terms of the issues, and again, this comes down to a question that quite a few of our mentees and mentors have asked us about. What are the general issues that are dealt with? And for us, this is about leadership development support. So much falls under that umbrella. Very often it is about dealing with relationships, dealing with board relationships, navigating that space, and potentially as well looking at your relationships with your senior management team, which if they're not working well, it can be a really difficult leadership journey for anybody, and big change management as well. And one thing about our sector is that it doesn't stand still for too long. So that ability to have a sounding board for somebody that is going through huge change management, whether that's a creation of a new service or a more dramatic change and looking at a restructure, whatever it may be, having that support is really important. Quite a few of our members would talk to me about imposter syndrome, and it basically comes down to confidence. So for us, a big element of the mentoring, and I think it was Janet that touched upon this, is just to give you a wee bit more self-confidence and a wee bit more self-belief that what you're doing is an incredible job. So that's something that has been dealt with directly or indirectly through the mentoring program. And also for quite a few mentees as well, they are looking at what's next for me in my career. What do I stay where I am, or is it time for a new leadership challenge? And that's something that your mentor can work through with you. And then again, Brendan and Janet have touched upon these much more eloquently than what I could do. But the feedback that we get both from mentors and from mentees on our mentoring program is it's really powerful. It's really strong. And ultimately, it is about having somebody who is trustworthy, who is objective, who's not inside your organization, who's not part of your personal network, who can offer a level of objectivity that you don't currently have access to. And that safe space is really important. and that critical friend role, which we've touched upon. And again, just for quite a few of our mentees have said they've had so many light bulbs from being part of this program. So gaining that clarity and plotting a way forward on their leadership journey is a really important benefit. And it is about improving their interpersonal skills and their communication skills as well. And quite a lot of our mentees would be operating at chief executive level. And I think there is this perception that when you reach chief executive level, that that you're in a strong place anyway. But we all need support at some time, regardless of what level you're at. So having that opportunity to constantly improve and grow is really important. And then ultimately, and quite a strong focus of our mentoring program is on helping our mentees find answers to big hairy solutions or big hairy challenges. So that solution and that fact finding is really important, and helping mentees then to grow. And it has happened with some of our mentees then developing those mentoring and coaching skills as well, and then giving back and joining the program as mentors as well. And then ultimately that opportunity to learn in a new way. And going back to what Janet had said, learning from someone who wants me to grow and knowing that they're on your side and they're as a support to you is really important. And then again, and John has touched on quite a number of these in terms of the benefits of being a mentor. And ultimately, this is a safe space for you to share the benefit of your experiences and your expertise that mentors have built up over a number of years. Also as well, quite a few of our mentors, not all of them, but some of them would be professional coaches as well. So that ability to improve listening and coaching skills is definitely developed through our mentoring program. And it's about different relationships as well. So quite often our mentors have a day job. So it's about an opportunity to step outside of your world and into somebody else's, which has been hugely beneficial. And the feedback that we get from our mentors in terms of supporting them on their personal development and growth has been really, really important. And ultimately, that feeling of satisfaction and helping to make a difference and to give back, again, is a big motivator for quite a number of our mentors. So in terms of practicalities and what is involved, so the next stage is anybody that has requested an interest in either becoming a mentor or mentee will send you out a template for you to complete. And with that, there's a series of questions, and that's a really good exercise for you to consider what is your motivation for joining our mentoring program. And that template, as well as conversations that we'll have, help us with that matching process. It is a 12-month program, and we are there in a support and coordination role. Our expectation is that the mentor and the mentee meet usually on a monthly basis or every 6 weeks, and ultimately it's up to the mentee and the mentor to decide what's right for them. So we're not standing there with a clipboard saying you will meet them once a month for 2 hours. Ultimately, you have to figure that out yourself at the start. So it's important that you have that structure and those boundaries in place. We also have produced a good practice mentoring guide as well, which is a really good resource that has different templates and useful hints and tips, some of which we've covered today. There are also some reconnection sessions that we will organise as part of the mentoring support that CO3 provides. So we'll bring the mentees and the mentors together at 6 months and 12 months, and then in between times we'll be checking in the telephone. And as and when then any of you need support, then obviously we're just at the end of a telephone or end of an email. And what's great about the mentoring program is that there is minimal paperwork that's required as part of this. Ultimately, this is about your relationship with your mentee or your relationship with your mentor. In terms of costs, we asked our mentees to offer a £50 contribution. Now, most of that did go to our mentors in terms of helping to travel or cover their travel expenses. Because we're meeting virtually now, that isn't the case, but there is that support that's available to our mentors, because our mentors do give their time completely free to this program, but we will reimburse any basic expenses as part of it. And then for us as well, you know, what we want to do, and something that CO3 really needs to get better at, is capturing the impact of our leadership program. So we will be asking our mentees to complete a short evaluation of where they feel they are now in terms of their leadership skills. And then at the end of the program, we'll ask you to complete that again. And again, that's a really good exercise for us, because we can aggregate that information. But also for you, just to figure out, actually, you can see yourself, map your own journey in terms of how far you've actually grown. So in terms of next steps, so we will be sending out an email to all of our members to see who would like to be involved in the program. We'll be sending out then the relevant templates to those that want to be involved. We hopefully will have all of the forms completed by the end of April, and we are leaving a longer time frame than normal. I think with virtual, things take a bit longer than normal. We're going to have an induction for both mentees and mentors on the 14th of May, and that will be a 1-hour virtual workshop. And then we'll have the matching process, and obviously as part of the matching process, we'll be looking at the template, asking you to identify any potential conflicts of interest that you may have, and then ultimately for the mentoring relationship to commence at the end of May. And what we're looking at doing as well, and this comes on the back of an idea that John had shared with me yesterday, was that potentially having a second cohort of mentors and mentees start again in October, November time. Because we have our main mentoring program that usually runs yearly, and then as and when members come to me and feel that they would benefit from being part of the mentoring program, then we would place them with a mentor on an ad hoc basis. But there is real benefit in the mentees and the mentors going on this journey together. So rather than reacting, what we're going to do is offer 2 programs twice a year for a new cohort then to join halfway through. And that is essentially it, folks. Hopefully that is clear. Happy to take any questions if anybody has any. Check the chat function. No questions. So on that note, and just before 1 o'clock, may I say thank you to you all for attending. Thank you, John. Thank you, Janet and Brendan in particular, for offering your insights. We really appreciate your time. And
Thank you.
We will be in touch. Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye all.